Pat Donovan Potts, the Stormwater Manager with the City of Jacksonville. With me this morning is Ralph Leeds. Good morning, Ralph.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
Do me a favor and tell us a little bit about you. Are you from the area and how long?
I've lived in Jacksonville since 1985. My paying job is I work for the state North Carolina Department of Commerce Division of Workforce Solutions.
What is that exactly?
Okay, we're the unemployment office.
Well, no, that's a good thing. You help others in the area. I'm sure your office is pretty busy right now, correct?
It's busy, but it also gives me a perspective to kind of deal with economic development in the area too and see how the economy's moving.
Awesome. Is it getting better or worse?
Definitely getting better.
Oh, yay.
Not getting better fast enough, but it's getting better.
Good. What brought you to the area in 1985?
Job transfer.
Job transfer from where?
Wilmington.
Oh, okay. Well, that wasn't too far.
No.
How do you like the Jacksonville area?
Well, I came in '85 and it was thought that I'd stay here for a few years and move on. Fell in love with the area and I've been here ever since.
Oh, that's awesome. So my question, because we're doing the State of the River address, is do you work, play, live anywhere within the vicinity of the New River?
I live on the Northeast Creek Swamp and I play on the river. I'm a sailboater, blowboater, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, good. How long have you had a sailboat?
I've had a sailboat since 1972.
Oh, wow. The same boat?
No, not the same boat.
Oh, okay.
Grew up a little bit.
So you're an avid sailor.
Avid, whether it's a good sailor, it's questionable.
How often are you actually on the water?
We try to get out at least once a day every weekend, sometimes at night.
Okay. Having said that, let's go back in time to 1985. Describe for me your first sailing event on the New River.
It was not pretty. As we were bringing our boat we had then up the river, we had the misfortune of going over a broken sewer pipe that was spewing effluent into the river. It was neither pretty looking nor smelled good. And we almost decided at that point the next day we were going to go back to Wrightsville Beach again.
Well, we're glad you gave us a second chance because since that time a lot of things have happened along the health of the New River and the city has been trying to improve that. Not just the city, but the county, the base, and the air station have put efforts into re-cleaning up the New River, and that's what the State of the River address is for us to re-look at what we've done this past year, what can we do better next year. So tell me again, from 1985 to present, how would you say the river has changed?
Oh, it's gotten so much better. You have no idea. Good example is look at all the birds you see on the river now. You've got ospreys, not the helicopter type, but real ospreys. We've got eagles now, pelicans, cormorants. When we first came up here, the only thing we saw were seagulls, and frankly, you can go to a landfill and see seagulls.
Right.
You've definitely seen the growth of a vibrant food chain.
Do you fish any at all?
I do not fish.
You just like to sail, huh?
Yeah, and if I do fish, I pray that the fish doesn't get on my hook so I have to worry about it.
So you've seen an improvement with the New River over time. How then, since you work where you work, how does the river affect Jacksonville's economy? Does it or does it not?
Definitely affects it. Maybe not as directly as, for instance, having the Marine Corps here, but it's definitely a tourism attraction, particularly in the lower areas. But the bigger thing is, back in the 30s, we used to be known as a big game area, big fishing area. Now we've started to actually have fishing guides back in the area because the river is doing so well. We also, when we bring in industrial clients, we look at the changes, we tell them about the changes, we tell them about Sturgeon City, and that's always a plus to the attracting new business to the area.
So are you involved with Sturgeon City?
Not anymore, no. I had been, was one of the original board of directors.
Oh, well, thank you for doing that. What other things can you share with us that would be important to maintain the health of the New River? What can we do as individuals?
The best thing I would say is keep at it with the stormwater runoff. It's sad sometimes to see a good heavy rain and the water goes from fairly clear to looks like coffee.
Yeah.
With a lot of cream in it.
Yes.
And kind of muddy. But again, it's still so much better than the way it used to be that we just need to make sure we don't rest on our laurels and we still keep moving forward.
Yeah, stormwater runoff is actually our biggest pollutant. And again, that's one of the reasons why we're doing this State of the River address. Is that's one of the things I'd like to point out each year is that, we have about 8,000 storm drains throughout the city, and each one of those are a potential pollution sources. Be it intentional or unintentional, is we have to continually educate ourselves that that is not a place where leaves and trash needs to go down. So if you're a landscaper, please don't blow the leaves off of the yard into the road and down the gutter, because if our storm drains are full of leaves and trash, then it will not collect and transfer stormwater runoff off of your yard, off of your business, and off of the streets. And we're trying to minimize flooding at the same time that we're looking at water quality, and leaves and dirt and trash and everything is still something that pours into the river. In fact, sediment's our number one contaminant. So thank you for bringing up stormwater.
Yeah. Well, one thing I have seen that I used to see a lot in the good old days is where people used to pull their vehicle over a drain and drain their oil into the
Please don't do that.
System. So don't see much of that anymore.
Thank goodness. Yes, oil and antifreeze will ruin millions of gallons of water, and we don't want to see that. Well, we appreciate you moving to Jacksonville and working and playing. Any other things that you would like to share about the river and Jacksonville? Or?
Well, as a sailor, I go slow and I go quiet. So you get to see a lot of stuff that's on the river. It's amazed me how diverse it's become, how vibrant. I mean, you get to see otters. Oh. We've seen dolphin right off the dock. They're catching Jimmy crabs right off the end of the dock. I mean, big Jimmy crabs.
Yes.
Flounder. And a picture I took a couple of years ago, I remember that during speckled trout season, we had about 14 boats all sitting under the Lewis Sewell Bridge trying to get trout. Now, when I first came up here, you never would have seen 14 boats on this river, period. So.
Yes, I know. 15 years ago, I could drive the city boat on the river and not hit another thing except the embankment. Not so anymore. What is your most memorable moment or sight, or when you're working out in the environment, you get little treasures and, just different organisms that show up. What's your most memorable moment?
It actually happened back in the fall. We were out sailing and you kind of saw a shadow come over you. And looked up and it was a bald eagle. And it circled around the boat and then kind of dipped into the water and picked up the fish and took off. And I guess if we had to leave with anything, that was probably the most memorable moment, and just the fact that the river's come back that far. That
we've got eagles fishing and hunting on her again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ralph, thank you for all that you do, and thank you for joining us for the State of the River Address.
My pleasure.